Spring and summer 2024 fashion is all about frills and bows, girly stuff. I'm all in. I found this free summer dress pattern which checks all the boxes. It's the Milana dress by Vikisews and I've decided to make it. Hi, welcome to my eclectic channel. My name is Agnes and I make videos for fun. Last time we started working on the sleeves. I don't know how much of the background noise my mic is picking up, but I apologize. It's mowing season, like daily mowing. I really should be mowing my lawn as well, but the ground is too wet. Alright, so the next step is understitching. I could have done this a tad bit sooner, but now is a great time to pull out all of that basting thread. And then we trim the seam allowance, and there's a lot going on. The tutorial doesn't have a narrative and I had a hard time figuring out what she was cutting, but essentially you've got the one where you folded your bias tape in half. That needs to stay intact. Everything else, it's all raw edges. The whole, like there's 3 layers, all of that needs to be trimmed away. It's time to close the side seams. Since I don't have a serger, I'm going to be overlocking the raw edges first, then do the seams, and then I will press them flat. I stitch the sides of the bodice together and press the seams flat. Last step. Fold the bias tape to the wrong side and then top stitch. Instead of working with my work turned with the wrong side facing up, I've decided to work with the right side facing up. Just so I have better control over what the stitches look like. On the outside of the garment, I have switched to my pretty blue thread for this. And I can feel right where the bulk is with my fingers, and then I'm just stitching right past that. And that's 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. I'm starting right at the seam allowance. That's under the arm, and any imperfection will be less visible. Now the sleeves are done, so this is a very good time to do a fitting. With the bodice done, it's time to do the skirt, you guys. So I am moving off of the instructions completely again because I'm not lining this skirt. And I have a plan of action. Maybe I should have written it down. Right now it's all in my head. So we'll see how it turns out. The first thing I'm going to do is to attach the 2 panels. And since I don't have a serger, my preferred method is to overlock the raw edges, then stitch, and then I press the seams flat. While I'm at it, I'm going to do the same for the flounces. Overlock, stitch them together, and press the seams flat. I pressed my seams flat on the skirt, and I'm going to set that aside for a bit. I've also pressed the seams flat on the flounces, and also I folded the bottom. I folded that twice and pinned with a ridiculous number of pins. It's a curve, so I'm going to go to my machine and I'm going to stitch my flounce all around. It's going to take a while. Well, that felt like it would never end, but I got the flounce hemmed and I gave it a good press. So there's more joy ahead, because now we have to attach the flounce to the bottom of the skirt. So I'm going to overlock the raw edge on the flounce and on the skirt. And then I'm going to work a row of basted stitches along the top of the flounce so that I can gather it. So I was counting on an asymmetry to determine which part of the flounce to attach to the front of the skirt versus the one that attached to the back of the skirt. Yeah, and there isn't. I folded them at the side seams, and they're just on top of each other. Like, I'm not seeing one bigger than the other, which is fine. So now I'm going to pin the flounce to the bottom of the skirt at key points. So at this point, if you haven't done already, it's a good idea to fold each flounce in half. So essentially, you'll have to bring your side seams together and extend your flounce out, and then you should notch here because this would mark the middle of one. They're the same. And then you want to do the same on the other side. So that way you'll have the middle front and the middle back. It's really useful to have. So then it's a matter of pinning that to the skirt. So you want to take your skirt, turn it right sides out. Make sure you got the bottom. Yeah, the front panel will help because the front panel has a narrower waist. It's the A-line. So the wider part of the front panel is your bottom, and hopefully that's the one that you just did an overhang stitching on, which I have. My waist is still raw. I have not decided exactly how it's going to work on the waist. So I'm going to take the flounce. In the flounce, you want to turn that inside out. And then you want to stick the skirt into the flounce. And we're ready to pin. So bring the side seam to side seam and put a pin in that, literally. I watch a lot of TV shows where they keep saying, put a pin in that. But here we really are putting a pin in that. Pin the the side seam on the other side. And then line up the center front to the center of the flounce and do the same in the back. Center back to center of the flounce. So now essentially I've got my flounce attached at the side seams, center back, center front, 4 quarters. Now the story of the game is to gather each of those quarters until you have your flounce lying flat against the skirt. And we'll work on that next time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like.